welcome back to my channel. My name is Desi, and I'm going to do my wrap up for January. So it was not as good as a month as I would hope, but I still read some really good books, and I started off the year super good. So let's talk about books. Okay, so the first book I read this month was He's Not My Type by Meghan Quinn. Now, this is the fourth in the Vancouver Agitators hockey romance series. Okay, so the book starts and you meet Halsey, and he's a hockey player / bookworm, pretty quiet, and he has been secretly pining over Blakely. Now, Blakely works on the team, and the thing is, she's in a relationship, so he's being super respectful until the day he finds out through the grapevine that she is now single. And he is thinking to himself, oh, I'm going to work up the courage to finally shoot my shot, so to say. But the thing is, he's late to the party. His teammates have attempted to play Cupid. And not only have they attempted to play Cupid, but it just so happens there's something going on at her apartment and she needs a place to stay. Cue the friends giving up his second room without even asking him. They're in a mad rush because the second room doesn't even have a bed. So he's all flustered, and the trio of hockey players band together to literally make this goal for Halsey. And they're the cutest little match, potentially. So this book is a good mix of humor, of, the side eyes, of the building of the steam. And it is a steamy book towards the middle to end. So if you're into romance, if you're into that, you're definitely going to get your fill of that. And it's just those lingering moments, those like kind of awkwardness. And it just so happens that they're like forced proximity because now they're sharing a place. And it's just the best read. And it kicked off the month so well. So the second book was The Secret Lives of Midwives by Sally Hepworth. This is going to be a dual timeline historical fiction, and it's 3 generations of women. So you have Floss, who is the grandmother. You have Grace, who is the mother to Neva, and also the daughter to Floss. And then you have Neva, granddaughter to Floss, and daughter to Grace. So the book starts when we find out Neva is pregnant at a family dinner. She is 30 weeks pregnant, and her grandmother and her mother do not know. And that causes quite a stir. Here's the kicker. She will not tell her nosy mother who the father is, because she is single. And she just keeps saying, it's my baby. That's whose baby it is. We need answers. We don't know who the father is as well. So that is kind of her secret. That is just kind of the gist of that. That's where it starts, the start of the story. And we realize that Grace and Floss both have secrets they like to keep hidden as well. This story is a perfect blend of alternating points of view and also the complexities and complications that arise between 3 generations of strong-willed women, keeping their cool, keeping their secrets, and kind of just forging their way into this career field that all of them decided to be midwives. And it's all different points of view. We have a midwife that works at a center. We have a midwife that kind of works in tangent with a hospital. And we also have one that has started becoming a midwife overseas and in the World War II era. So you definitely get a little bit of history as well as just some family dynamics. So my third book is probably my favorite book I've read this month. So I read Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. This is my first book I read from this author. It's 19th century China, and I really It was such a page turner, and it was so beautifully written, and so, I would say, just so much detail into this book, and it tugged on my heartstrings. And so, okay, let me just get into it. The book starts and we meet this young girl named Lily, and she's in a time where she's in a bigger family. In China, it is customary to have the girls bind their feet, get with a matchmaker, kind of secure your connection with your potential spouse. With that all being said, she is in a lower middle class, and the family, her mother, her aunt, went to contact the matchmaker a little bit earlier and get this process going, because it is just customary that in the viewpoint in this book that girls born into the family are going to be married away. They don't stay with the family. They don't really have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't really have a lot of pull. They're not a lot of significance for the family dynamics. The boys, it's customary that they marry, they bring in their wife comes to live with their family. They work with their males in the family out in the fields or whatever type of business they do. So the boys have a lot more responsibility and pull and worth in the family. So they contact the matchmaker. The matchmaker comes and views Lily, and Lily has unique characteristics and makeup, and I guess just the right oomph that the matchmaker goes, I need to get an outside source. I need to contact a different matchmaker from the capital, basically. So another matchmaker comes. The family's kind of upset because they're like, now you're costing us more money and more time. We just kind of want to hurry up and get your process going and get you married off, that sort of thing. Because it's a long process. It's a years and years long process. Anyway, they get the matchmaker from the other town, the more prominent town, the capital. And she goes, you know what? Matchmaker from Lily's hometown, you're right. She does have these characteristics. This is what we're going to do. If her feet bind well, we approve of you binding her feet. They kind of need approval from this matchmaker type situation to start the process. The matchmaker goes, if her feet bind well, they're going to be like lily pads, like golden feet. With that being said, with her characteristics of like age and the day she was born, her feet binding, all this math will match up to where not only is she going to now marry into a higher class, which makes you guys almost like, you know, celebrities, well-known. It's going to up your family value within your town, as well as for Lily, it's going to mean better life, better treatment, finer things in life. So she is literally marrying up because of her characteristics, dynamic, whatever you want to call it. On top of that, she gets, I think, the most beautiful relationship out of all. Not only is she getting a better choice husband, she gets what's called a Lao Tang. And that means soulmate, soul sister friendship. She gets a connection with another child, or another girl, I should say, of her age, and they match up. And this matching will go and span through their lifetime. It is one of the most prominent titles you can get as a girl during this whole entire process, because typically the girls, you'll have your girls as girlfriends as little girls, and then when you shift into a young adult, you'll probably have some young maidens with you. But once you marry out and into your respective villages and towns and whatnot, you're going to get a new set of girls. Like each timeline in your life is a filtering system of girls that are supportive, but they don't stay because they have their own things to do, and that's just the way it was set up. But the lucky few get, because of their characters, get a basically platonic soulmate, and it is just the best. And so Lily lovely Lily gets that loud tongue with Snowflower. And you go on this journey with them as young girls to young brides to, just their journey throughout the whole entire time. And I'm telling you, I absolutely loved this book. I mean, the way it was written, you felt like you were right there. You felt like you were in the like little house. I didn't want to call it a hut, but it was very of humble beginnings to her other in-law suite, to the traditions, and just you as a reader get such a glimpse into this culture and this time frame, and it's just the best. Okay, so my final book I read is called The Sugar Queen by Sarah Addison Allen. And I buddy read that with Amy over at Amy's Bookish Life. And her and I had such a hoot with this book. So you start off, it's set in a ski resort small town during the winter time. And you meet Josie. She's 27 and she lives with her mom, her elderly mom. Her mom had her a little older in life, and it is Josie's prime responsibility to take care of her mom. And I don't mean lightly take care of her mom. I mean every appointment, every outing, just everything you can imagine. And her mom is not the nicest about it too, because if Josie's a minute or two late, she just goes in on Josie. Kind of, I would say, almost making sure Josie doesn't have a life outside of the home and outside of just her responsibilities with her mom, because her mom took care of her. So now it's your turn. It's kind of that type of dynamic. And that's what Josie's been used to. She's kind of a recluse to the house. Not a lot of people know she lives there, but they don't have any like really big interactions other than quick hi and bye. They don't know her as an adult. They know her as a child, and that kind of comes with her because she wasn't the most well-behaved. And that's kind of her reputation, is that, oh, I don't know her now, but as a child, she was just awful. And that in itself like drives me crazy. I'm like, okay, well, she's 27 now. She's not a little kid that like is obviously trying to voice some attention and wanting some type of interaction. Anyway, so this all changes in this story for Josie. Everything switches when Josie finds Della Lee in her closet. Della Lee snuck into her window and hides in her closet. Now, we find out that Della Lee is just hiding for something. She won't tell you what she's hiding from. She kind of asks for food here and there, but she's just comfortable being in the closet for the time being. And she kind of gets Josie out of her comfort zone, and that is a beautiful relationship all in its own. But I just think it's funny that this woman is hiding in this other woman's closet. And let me tell you, they have a maid in Josie and her mom's home, and the maid thinks the place is haunted because she doesn't see Della Lee because she's hiding, but she like hears things, and it's just the maid is just hilarious because she's like, Miss Josie, there's the spirit in your room. And we know that Della Lee's in the closet. I just thought that was funny. So that's kind of the base of it, is that we find out that Della Lee hid in the closet. We find other minor characters that come into play in the kind of their stories. But our big mystery is, why is Della Lee in this closet? And what is her connection to Josie? And why did she pick Josie's closet? And why is she trying to get Josie out of her comfort zone when she doesn't even know Josie? And Josie starts a journey and trying to figure out what she wants. Because not only is she like trying to be a good daughter, but she wants to have a different life. She's smuggling travel little brochures in her closet to look at night, and she's snuggling little sweets to put in her closet because her mom doesn't approve of it. So it's definitely such a complicated relationship that is a main focus. And it's also, there's a little bit of magical realism, which I really, truly loved. One of the minor characters has a little bit of magical realism where she has books appear in her life. Like if she needs help on her car, a manual will appear and it'll be car 101. Or if she has a problem with communication with her significant other, it's like how to mend a relationship, how to like trust your partner. And it's just hilarious because she gets mad at these books and she threatens to put them in the freezer or in the water, which it's just it's funny. It's such a great book. It was a cute read. It was very winter-esque. It was part on course for the theme. And I really loved Buddy reading it because me and her were just laughing and getting such a kick out of all these antics in this like small winter town. I felt like it was a good pacing, and I also felt like it was just a quick read, but at the same time, it was like just the coziest read. And I truly did like it. I think it's a good start of the year. I know I was a little busy in January, so I'm glad I got these books read, and I'm looking forward to February. I have a lot of plans. Don't worry, it's coming in a video. That's going to be my month of January for reads. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon.